You've been lied to your whole life. They told you to be nice, to be kind, to be accommodating, to play fair. And where has that gotten you? Has kindness filled your bank account? Has it built your empire? Has it put you at the top? No, it's made you a doormat for people who don't give a damn about your kindness. Wake up! The world isn't a warm and fuzzy place. It's a battlefield. It's a shark tank. And you? You've been swimming around like a clueless goldfish, hoping the sharks won't eat you because you're nice. Let me tell you something. Sharks don't care. They see weakness, and they devour it. The people you admire, those who have built fortunes, those who lead industries, those who own the damn game, they didn't get there by asking nicely. They didn't rise to power by waiting their turn or hoping people liked them. They took what they wanted. They demanded respect. They made people listen. Not because they were kind, but because they were relentless, because they refused to be ignored. You want to be successful? Stop worrying about being liked. Stop waiting for approval. Respect is worth 1,000 times more than a room full of fake friends who only stick around because you make them comfortable. The truth is, when you stop being kind, when you stop being soft, people will hate you. And guess what? That's a good thing. That means you're doing something right. That means you're shaking the damn tree and the dead leaves are falling off. Being kind doesn't build empires. Being unstoppable does. Being ruthless with your time, your energy, your goals, that's what gets results. I'm not telling you to be an asshole for no reason. I'm telling you to be strong, to demand what you deserve, to stop apologizing for wanting more, for being more, for refusing to settle. The world doesn't hand out trophies for kindness. It hands them out to those who earn them. So stop being kind. Stop playing nice. Stop living your life on your knees, begging for scraps when you should be taking the whole damn table. Stand up. Get aggressive. Get hungry. And watch how the world stops ignoring you and starts fearing you. Because in the end, it's not the kind who win. It's the ones who refuse to lose. Kindness is often weakness in disguise. You've been brainwashed since childhood to believe that kindness is the ultimate virtue. That being nice, agreeable, and accommodating will open doors, win people over, and somehow magically bring you success. But let me tell you the truth. Kindness is often nothing more than a disguise for weakness. A mask people wear because they're too afraid to stand their ground, too scared to say no, and too desperate for approval. Look around. How many people do you know who are kind, generous, and always willing to help, but are also broke, struggling, or stuck in mediocrity? How many times have you seen someone get steamrolled simply because they were too nice to push back? The world is not a fairy tale where good-hearted people automatically win. The world is a war zone. And the ones who succeed are the ones who understand that being too kind often leads to being taken advantage of. Let me be clear. I'm not telling you to be an unfeeling, artless monster. But I am telling you to stop using kindness as an excuse to avoid confrontation, as a shield to protect yourself from rejection, or as a way to feel morally superior while getting walked all over. Nice guys finish last. It's not just a catchy phrase, it's reality. People mistake kindness for weakness because, in most cases, it is weakness. When you're too kind, you hesitate to speak your mind. You hold back from making tough decisions because you don't want to upset people. You waste your time doing favors for people who wouldn't lift a finger for you. You let others dictate your worth because you're afraid to demand more. And before you know it, you're left behind, wondering why success keeps slipping through your fingers. Let me give you an example. Imagine two business people negotiating a deal. One is kind, soft-spoken, and eager to make sure everyone is happy. The other is firm, direct, and laser-focused on getting the best possible outcome. Who do you think walks away with the better deal? It's not the kind one. It's the one who knows that business is about results, not feelings. The kind person might feel good about keeping the peace, but the tough one walks away with the money, the power, and the advantage. Now you might say, but what about the great leaders who are kind and compassionate? Sure, there are leaders who practice strategic kindness, but it's never their defining trait. The most successful people aren't kind first. They're strong first. They're respected first. And when they choose to be kind, it's on their terms, not because they're afraid of conflict or rejection. And let's talk about relationships, whether personal or professional. If you're always kind, always available, always accommodating, people will not respect you. They will use you. They will see you as someone who is easy to manipulate. The reality is people value what they have to earn, not what is freely given. When you give too much, when you're too nice, people start to take you for granted. So what's the alternative? Be firm. Be decisive. Be strong first. Kind second. Set boundaries. Speak up. Demand what you deserve, not what others are willing to give you. And most importantly, stop fearing what people will think. The minute you stop letting kindness control your actions, you'll see just how much more powerful you become. The world doesn't reward kindness, it rewards strength. And the moment you realize that, you stop being a pawn and start becoming a king. Success demands toughness. You want success? You want wealth? You want power? Then stop being soft. Stop waiting for someone to hand it to you. That success doesn't come to the weak, the hesitant, or the ones who hope things will work out. It comes to the tough. It comes to the people who are willing to fight for it, to get knocked down and get back up without whining, without looking for sympathy, and without blaming the world. Look around. Do you think the billionaires, the tycoons, the industry leaders got where they are by being soft? By being afraid of confrontation? By playing nice and hoping everything falls into place? No. They got there because they had the guts to demand more, to push harder, and to never take no for an answer. They were willing to do what weak people wouldn't. Make tough calls, take risks, and stand their ground when others back down. Toughness isn't about looking mean or acting aggressive for no reason. Toughness is about having the resilience to take the punches and keep moving forward. The weak crumble at the first sign of adversity. The tough, they expect adversity. They welcome it because they know that success is forged in the fire of setbacks, failures, and struggles. Let me tell you the truth. Most people fail because they simply aren't tough enough. They complain that life is unfair. They whine about competition. They hesitate because they're afraid of rejection. And do you know what happens? Someone stronger comes along and takes what could have been theirs. If you want to succeed, you must build a mindset that can't be broken. You need to become the kind of person who doesn't flinch when things go wrong, who doesn't waste time feeling sorry for themselves, and who never stops moving forward. Because the world doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care how hard your journey is. It only cares about results. Let's talk about rejection. Weak people fear rejection. They take it personally. They see it as a sign that they aren't good enough, and they shrink back. Tough people, they expect rejection. They understand that rejection is just a part of the process. Every no gets them closer to a yes. They don't let it slow them down. They use it as fuel to push even harder. And what about failure? Weak people let failure define them. They give up the moment they hit a roadblock. Tough people, they learn from failure. They analyze what went wrong, adjust, and come back stronger. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners keep going. Losers make excuses. Look at history. The people who made an impact weren't the ones who played it safe. They weren't the ones who feared criticism or hesitated when things got tough. They were the ones who had the mental and emotional fortitude to keep pushing, no matter what stood in their way. So, let me ask you, are you tough enough, or are you still waiting for an easy path? Because here's the truth. There is no easy path. If you want success, you have to earn it. You have to outwork, outlast, and outfight everyone else. Softness won't get you there. Kindness won't get you there. Toughness wins respect over popularity. Too many people live their lives chasing approval. They want to be liked. They want to fit in. They bend over backward to make everyone around them comfortable. And what does it get them? Nothing. No power, no influence, no real success. Just a life spent trying to please people who don't care about them. If you want to be truly successful, stop chasing popularity and start demanding respect. Respect will take you places that being liked never will. The people at the top of the game, the CEOs, the power players, the industry leaders, aren't in the business of making friends. They're in the business of winning. They don't waste time worrying about whether people like them. They focus on being respected because they understand one simple truth. Respect commands influence. Popularity is temporary. Here's the harsh reality. And when you prioritize being liked, you become a puppet. You say yes when you should say no. You hold back your opinions to avoid upsetting people. You make compromises that weaken you. And worst of all, you become dependent on validation. You start making decisions based on what will keep you in people's good graces rather than what will actually move you forward. And before you know it, you're stuck in mediocrity, surrounded by people who don't respect you, just tolerate you. Respect, on the other hand, is built through strength, decisiveness, and unwavering standards. People respect those who stand firm in their beliefs. They respect those who don't hesitate to make tough decisions. They respect those who aren't afraid to piss people off if it means getting things done. Do you know why the greatest leaders aren't always liked? Because they make the hard calls. They fire people who aren't delivering. They refuse to lower their standards. They set the bar high and expect results. And that kind of mindset doesn't make you popular. It makes you powerful. It makes you powerful. Let's take an example from business. If you're a manager and you're constantly worried about whether your employees like you, you'll hesitate to hold them accountable. You'll let mistakes slide. You'll avoid confrontation. And what happens? Productivity drops. Performance suffers because instead of being a leader, you've become a people pleaser. But if you prioritize respect over popularity, you set clear expectations, you demand excellence, and you don't tolerate excuses. And guess what? The best employees will respect you for it. They may not always like you, but they'll follow you. This principle applies to every area of life. Relationships, business, leadership. Respect is the foundation of success. A respected individual walks into a room and people listen. A popular individual walks into a room and people smile, but they don't take them serious. Now here's the key. Respect is earned. You don't demand it by force. You command it through action. You command it by being consistent, by keeping your word, by delivering results, by refusing to settle for mediocrity. You command it by setting boundaries and sticking to them, no matter who gets offended. So ask yourself, do you want to be liked or do you want to be respected? Because you can't have both at the highest level. The ones who chase popularity end up forgotten. The ones who demand respect leave a legacy. Take what you deserve. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you success, wealth, or power. If you want something in life, you have to go out and take it. The world doesn't reward people who sit around waiting for opportunities to land in their lap. It rewards those who have the guts to demand what they deserve, to seize opportunities, and to refuse to settle for less than what they are capable of achieving. Most people live their lives waiting for permission. Permission to ask for a raise. Permission to chase their dreams. Permission to be great. They wait, hoping that someone will recognize their value and give them what they think they deserve. But guess what? That day never comes. The world isn't fair. And if you don't take what's yours, someone else will. Look at the most successful people in history. They didn't wait for opportunities. They created them. Hope for success. They took it. They weren't afraid to demand more, to push forward even when people told them no, even when the odds were stacked against them. They had an unshakable belief in themselves and an unrelenting drive to claim what was rightfully theirs. And that's where most people fail. They hesitate. They second-guess themselves. They shrink back at the first sign of resistance. They convince themselves that they don't deserve more, that they should be grateful for whatever little they have. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. Because success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who take action, who fight for it, who refuse to accept anything less than the absolute best. Let's talk about money. If you're underpaid, if you're struggling financially, what are you doing about it? Are you waiting for your boss to notice your hard work and magically increase your salary? Are you waiting for the universe to reward you for being a good person? It doesn't work that way. You either step up and demand a raise, switch to a better paying job, or build something of your own. But whatever you do, you take action. Because sitting around and complaining won't change a damn thing. The same applies to business. If you're an entrepreneur and you're not making enough money, it's because you're not being aggressive enough. You're waiting for customers to come to you instead of hunting them down. You're waiting for investors to recognize your potential instead of proving your worth. You're waiting for the right time instead of realizing that the right time is now. And let's not forget relationships. Too many people accept toxic, one-sided relationships because they don't believe they deserve better. They let people walk all over them, disrespect them, and drain their energy. Why? Because they're afraid to walk away. Because they think they have to earn love or approval. Let me tell you something. You don't earn respect by being passive. You earn it by knowing your worth and refusing to settle. The bottom line is this: no one owes you anything. The world doesn't care how hard you've worked, how long you've waited, or how much you deserve something. The only way to get what you want is to take it. Be bold. Be relentless. Stop waiting and start acting. Because the ones who hesitate get left behind, and the ones who take what they deserve become the ones who run the worth. Kindness doesn't build empires. Let me ask you something. You ever seen a billionaire, a titan of industry, or a world leader who got to the top just by being nice? Have you ever seen an empire built on kindness alone? The answer is no, because success at the highest level isn't about being liked, it's about winning. We've been sold a lie that if you're just nice enough, if you're just kind enough, the world will reward you. That if you're polite, agreeable, and always willing to help, you'll somehow climb to the top. But look around. The richest, most powerful, most successful people in history didn't build their empires by being soft. They built them by being ruthless, strategic, and unapologetically ambitious. Does that mean you should go out and be a cruel, heartless tyrant? But it does mean you need to wake up and realize that kindness alone won't get you anywhere. Being nice doesn't make people respect you. It doesn't make people follow you. It doesn't put money in your bank account or power in your hands. Strength does. Toughness does. The ability to make hard decisions, stand your ground, and do what's necessary, even when it makes people uncomfortable. That's what builds empires. Let's talk about business. You think the CEOs of the world's biggest companies got to where they are by holding hands and singing songs about teamwork? No, they got there because they outworked, outsmarted, and outmaneuvered their competition. They made the tough calls, fired the people who weren't delivering, and took what was theirs without hesitation. They weren't afraid to make enemies. They weren't afraid to step on toes. Because at the end of the day, results matter more than feelings. The same applies to leadership. The greatest leaders in history weren't focused on being kind. They were focused on winning wars, breaking barriers, and pushing the limits of what was possible. They didn't ask for permission. They didn't worry about offending people. They made decisions that shaped the world, decisions that sometimes made them hated, but always made them respected. And yet too many people today are terrified of being anything but nice. They avoid confrontation. They refuse to push back. And they let people walk all over them because they don't want to be seen as mean. But let me tell you something. Empires aren't built by people who are afraid of offending others. They're built by those who are willing to do what it takes no matter who disapproves. Look at any successful entrepreneur, athlete, or leader, and you'll see one thing in common. They didn't care about being the nicest person in the room. They cared about being the best. They cared about winning. They cared about winning. And because of that, they built something that will outlast them. So stop thinking that kindness will make you successful. Stop believing that if you just play nice, things will fall into place. They won't. If you want to build something great, if you want to create a legacy, then you need to stop worrying about being liked and start focusing on being powerful. Because in the end, kindness doesn't build empires. Relentless ambition does. Enough with the excuses. Enough with the hesitation. Enough with the weakness. You've spent too much of your life trying to be nice, trying to please everyone, trying to avoid conflict. And where has it gotten you? Nowhere. While you've been busy being kind, the strong have been taking what they want. While you've been waiting for permission, the bold have been making history. It's time to wake up. This world doesn't reward kindness, it rewards strength. It rewards those who have the guts to make the hard decisions, to demand more, to push past rejection, to keep going when everyone else gives up. It rewards those who stop caring about being liked and start caring about being respected. Stop waiting, stop apologizing, stop hesitating. Take what's yours, speak your mind, set your standards, demand what you deserve. And if people don't like it, too bad. Because the ones who truly matter will respect you for it. The world doesn't need more nice people. It needs more warriors, more leaders, more people willing to step up, stand firm, and dominate. So stop being kind, or start being powerful.